Let's try and sum up those results now as I return to our panel over here. So some interesting results to just go over there, and let me just put them straight away to our two doctors here, our AIDS experts. Will you in future always wear a condom? 46%. The majority said yes. Charles?
Well, I think it's encouraging, but it's not good enough. And certainly the discussion was at times quite despairing for me. A lot of people sounded as if they were just thinking about the problem for the first time. I mean, if in 10 years' time you took this discussion again with the same sort of audience, when the vast majority of the people in the audience would know someone who died of AIDS, you'd have uniform opinion. You'll have everybody taking care. But the unfortunate thing will be, in 10 years' time, a very large percentage of the audience will already be infected, and it'll be too late for them to start taking the precautions then.
If we invited the same audience back here in 10 years' time, there'd probably be a few gaps, wouldn't there?
I dare say.
Marcel, generally, the reaction from you on the whole question here, it seems like the girls will reduce the number of partners and the boys aren't going to reject the girls who turn around and say no.
Well, I didn't ever think they would, but it's just quite nice to know that sense prevailed after all that kind of joking. And I'm kind of encouraged, but I have to say I agree about the condom. I'm a bit discouraged about people's attitude to that. I'd kind of hoped more people tonight would have got that message.
Linda?
I agree. I mean, 37% no, it's almost equal. And I think it's up to everybody to take it as themselves, to be responsibility for themselves, everybody. So it kind of does, well, it won't stop the spread, but it would certainly help.
Corinne, do you believe what the boys say, though, that they won't reject the girls who refuse to go to bed with them?
Well, it's nice to think that they won't mind, but I'm sure it would pose a few problems, and people are going to have to change their sexual habits, I think, and get more enjoyment out of avoiding the issue than diving straight in there. And it's a hard thing to do if you, as we talked about before and Linda mentioned, if you're caught on the spur of the moment, you know, what do? Sometimes you're not in complete control, but I think everyone's going to have to condition themselves into thinking beforehand and try to avoid those situations until they're really sure that they know what they're doing and they want to do what might occur.
I do agree with my colleagues that it's going to look very bad in the future. There will probably be a lot of us missing here, and possibly then the message will get through even more, if you see what I mean. I mean, everyone knows, for instance, if you smoke, you've got a good chance of getting lung cancer, yet we see so many people who still smoke. And they say, well, it won't happen to me. That's the problem, you see. They say, well, you're going to die somehow.
We have to leave it. We must leave it there. I must say thank you very much indeed to our panel here for taking part this evening. And I've got to say thanks to our audience for being so frank and so honest with their views tonight. There does seem to be some hope that young people will beat AIDS. That is encouraging. And that's also pretty much it for this evening. If there is anything else you want to know about AIDS, you can phone a panel of experts. They are standing by, waiting to take your calls right now. Get a pen and paper ready. The number to ring will be shown at the end of this programme. Thank you for watching this evening. All I hope, or we hope here, is that you can spend half an hour after the show discussing what you've seen and heard. Right now, I'm delighted to welcome Erasure. They have a new single, It Doesn't Have to Be Like That, but before them, a final word of warning.
Good evening. We are
the management.
We've come down here to tell you that there's something very frightening what's running round this country.
Anneka Rice.
AIDS.
Oh, yeah, AIDS, right, yeah.
So cut down on your risks of catching it by cutting down on your numbers of sexual partners. Nowadays, even Ron here only sleeps with one partner.
Yeah, my teddy bear.
And even he wears a condom. Wear a condom. That's a message for the 80s.
And for the under 80s as well.
Listen, you always wear a condom, right?
Unless you're not actually having sex at the time.
What's more, you're all going to have to change your lifestyles. Ronnie has changed his lifestyle. Now, when he goes into a cocktail bar, he has a...
slow, comfortable, holding hands against the wall.
Furthermore, we've both started reading a new safe sex magazine for men.
Repent House.
Well, it's got rather a tasty full-colour centrefold pull-out of Mary Whitehouse wearing a balaclava.
Turns me on.
So remember, have a good time, but be safe. And to remind you to be safe, me and Ron have written a little poem. So without any further ado...
I do, Ron.
Ron. I do, Ron.
Ron.
Right. Here's the poem. If you're feeling really randy...
Always keep a condom handy.
'Cause all the thrills you get in bed...
Will not help you when you are dead.
Enough said.
We need to talk, changing things, but no one wants to listen. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. A heart on the inside, the same as any other. Are we divided? Always one against the other. We are broken. There's no one like to change it. Is that the way it has to be? Why can't we rearrange it? It doesn't have to be like that. It's one. It doesn't have to be like that. One against one. It doesn't have to be like that. La la pamoja na meme. Nimbani yangu, nimbani yako. Sibabu wewe hapana kana meme. Nimbani yangu, nimbani yako. La la pamoja na meme. Nimbani yangu, nimbani yako. Sibabu wewe hapana kana meme. Nimbani yangu, nimbani yako. What is the secret in calling me a brother? Are we divided? Someone always has to suffer. We are strong now. Put down the ammunition. But what we know is right is gonna break down this division. It doesn't have to be like that. It's one. It doesn't have to be like that. One against one. It doesn't have to be like that. One against one. It doesn't have to be like that. One against one. It doesn't have to be like that. You are on one side, and I am on the other. Are we divided?